Hi everyone, and welcome back to Humble Beginnings. Dave here, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of thermal expansion. I've been busy in between recording sessions, building up this second layer here, as you can see, moving up the Tinker's Construct stuff into the second area here. Got my tools and things in here. I've got a Bibliocraft bookcase full of all the books that I need. So yeah, been busy collecting materials and resources, things that we're going to need for this episode. That way it's a little bit more streamlined than the previous episode. I know I did a lot of running around, so hopefully this won't be as bad. I've built this little building right here next to my house. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. I know I built it, put glass in and all that. Still not really sure how I feel about it. It might be changing here shortly. In between, maybe after this recording session, I might tear it all down and build it maybe a little bit further away from my house and a little bit more modern. But for today, for this episode, it'll do. Alright, so let me put some stuff away, or at least most part away. And look inside my precious things chest and grab my resources here. Also need a bucket. Alright. So one of the first machines that we're going to be building today, well, first machine that we're going to use, truly use, is a pulverizer. So, let's look that up. Oh, and I was doing a little research in between here. So here's a pulverizer from thermal expansion. Click on it. It needs a piston, flint, machine frame, redstone reception coil, and copper. Machine frame. It's got two different crafting recipes here. One for steel, one for iron. Depending on where you are and things, it depends on what you use. If you're starting out with thermal expansion, chances are you're just going to have the iron. It's no problem. But we need to power the pulverizer, right? So let's check out the Dynamo. And there are 1, 2, 3, and 4 dynamos here. There are different dynamodes for technomancy. Don't get too confused by that. But there's 4 main ones for thermal expansion. The one I'm going to build today is, and probably the simpler one to operate and all that, is the steam dynamo. Hold shift for details. It says it generates energy, aka redstone flux, aka RF, and it requires water and solid fuel. And it says steam may be pumped in instead. Well, we don't have a source of steam, so. And to create the dynamo, basically a whole bunch of copper gears, a transmission coil, which is redstone silver, another redstone there. And that's all we need for the steam dynamo. But now, to get the steam dynamo to work, we need water. Because it's water and solid fuel, like coal, charcoal, those sort of things. So we're going to build our very first one as aqueous accumulator, which is here. So it needs a bucket, glass, tin, pneumatic servo, and a machine frame. Alright, no problem. So, we have our bucket, but I'm actually going to create another bucket. There we go. And the machine frame was iron, glass, and gold. Oop. Where'd my iron go? And I'm actually going to build 2 of these. One for the aqueous accumulator and one for the pulverizer. And we also need a pneumatic servo, 10 as well. Now, pneumatic servo, whenever you see this in a machine, means that this machine does not require power to run. Also means that it doesn't actually generate power within itself. I mean, it doesn't generate power for you. It sort of generates power inside. And so iron, redstone, and glass. And there we go. Pneumatic servo. Looks like I'm going to need a little bit more glass. Hopefully it'll be enough to see me through. So I put a bucket there, machine frame there, and then tin on the sides. And we have an aqueous accumulator. Fantastic. Alright, so now let me go get some water. We're going to create an infinite pool right inside of our little shop here. I'll just do it here. So water. Oop. There we go. One more on the side here. Perfect. So now the aqueous accumulator just goes right down in the middle, like that. And let's check it out. So look at there, automatically fill it in water. And you've got different things here. So we have information about the aqueous accumulator. Extracts water from its surroundings. Place in a pool of water to speed this up. And don't drown. Fantastic. We can configure the redstone control. And we can also configure the, configuration. So all the orange basically means that is output. Output and input. Essentially all the same there. So good. So we have water going into the aqueous accumulator. So now we need to transfer that water into our dynamo. Which we'll need a redstone transmission coil. So transmission coil means it transmits energy. Reception coil means it receives energy. There you go. Which is silver redstone. Also need copper gear, which is copper around iron. So we need 2 of those. And I suddenly forgot. Okay, and the reception coil. Which is, oh, that's a transmission coil. Was it? Okay, I was right. Sorry about that, guys. Thought I saw reception. So copper gears and transmission coil up front, And then we'll also need copper like so, and I believe redstone at the bottom. There we go, perfect. Steam Dynamo. Move all my stuff down a little bit further. So Steam Dynamo, oop, hold shift, and bada bing bada boom. So as you can see, it's filling up with water, as it should, because it's sitting right on top of the dynamo, right on top of the accumulator. So there we go, we have a simple little power supply, but it's not really working because we don't have any solid fuel in it. So I have to go get some coal. And while I'm at it, I'm going to build the pulverizer. So let me just grab a stack of coal here. Actually, what I'm going to do is, instead of building the pulverizer first, I'm going to build a thing called the crescent hammer. And what a crescent hammer does, or helps with, is moving and placing, rotating, all that sort of good stuff, the machines and dynamos from thermal expansion. So it just requires iron, tin, like so. So iron and tin. And we have a crescent hammer. So now I can go over there and I can whack the dynamo. I can move it without destroying it. And I can rotate it. And I can do all sorts of good stuff without worrying about breaking the block itself. Same thing with the accumulator and other machines that we're about to build. Okay. So now we have our crescent hammer. Let's talk about the pulverizer. So it requires a piston, flint, a machine frame, a reception coil, which is redstone, gold, and then also copper. So we have our machine frame. Let's build our reception coil, which means it receives energy. So reception coil, machine frame, flint, and piston. That's what I was missing. So piston is cobble, wood. So wood on either side, cobble at the top, redstone, and then iron. Did I have that wrong? Is it, or is it wood on the top? Yeah, okay, wood on the top. Oh, that makes sense, because that's how the picture is. There we go. So piston, machine frame, flint, copper, reception coil, pulverizer. Fantastic. And I hear a spider. You are not wanted, Mr. Spider. Alright. So now, let's go to bed. And in the morning, we will... What? Can't get up here? Two arms. What? Monsters nearby. Oh. Ugh. Not really near. Alright, whatever. Now we can go to bed. In the morning we'll hook up the pulverizer.